Hello, hello, hello out there. Hello, hello, hello out there. Welcome to the live stream. I know a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And a lot of people paying attention to the status of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin ETF. So I thought I would just we're going to do a live podcast at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Meditation and Aliens will be going live at 10 a.m. And I think we will do a live stream of it today, and planning on talking about the connection between
Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
BTC.
Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin in general, and the alien disclosure, aliens and UFOs, and the whole alien UFO situation. Hey, how about this? How about we do this? To get things started, we'll go with playing that amazing new see if I can find that. Where's that? Alien Revolution. UFO Revolution.
You've said that the U.S. has intact spacecraft. You said that the government has alien bodies or alien species. Have you seen the spacecraft?
What I personally witnessed myself was very disturbing.
It has been since the inception of the UFO problem. Nothing to see here, all of that has changed.
A multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program.
A genuine disclosure of the UAP UFO subject would be the most earth-shattering thing imaginable.
It would be the biggest story in history. The biggest story, period.
Here was a phenomenon that the government couldn't protect us from.
The greatest superpower the Earth has ever known basically admitted there was no way they could defend themselves.
I don't trust the U.S. government, and I'm a United States congressman. They told me that I'd kicked a hornet's nest, and I needed to get some bodies around me.
This information is the most deeply held secrets in the entire government, and that includes the President of the United States.
Do not talk about these things, or things will not go well for you. This is like the mafia.
Have anyone been murdered?
I have to be careful asking that question.
The attacks on you, is there any moment where you've regretted speaking up?
I don't regret it. It's, I didn't want to live in the Matrix when there's stuff like this that's being hidden from the world populace.
Past the foot of my bed, there were two gray, non-human beings.
The aerospace defense companies, these are people who understand how to play high-level chess.
Somebody's going to walk out of one of these labs with this information and puts it out on the internet before they commit suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head 5 times.
The footage was captured by our military. It's in Iraq. It was treated with just spectacular secrecy.
Just be careful. Don't step on the wrong toes.
So I've got a still image of something that I have learned to be called the chandelier UAP. Does that ring a bell to you?
It does. think Chuck Schumer would put forward an amendment about UAPs and disclosure, putting the reputation of the entire Senate at risk with the upcoming election? I mean, I don't know how much more one needs.
This subject is a problem. It's a problem they can't control.
I know for a matter of fact that the UFO topic is considered more important at a higher level of security than weapons of mass destruction.
This is potentially world-conquering information, technology that can change the course of mankind.
A society that has lived a foundational lie for an entire human lifetime. I don't know what gets bigger than that.
To keep things secret, people are silenced. I don't know how better to say that.
Yeah, so that was for this TMZ UFO Revolution 3-part series that will play January 9th, 10th, and 11th. That you can watch on apparently UB and stuff. Anyways, if you don't know about what's going on with UFOs and aliens, there's something real going on with that. So we got the and I've got a podcast called Meditation and Aliens that is available. So what does this have to do with Bitcoin and the Bitcoin ETF? Well, long story short, and I'll get into this in the show. On the right here, you got the story of alien UFO disclosure. And what you got here are all the major players as I see it. Over here you got the secret keepers. Over here you got disclosure advocates in Congress like Marco Rubio, Senator Gillibrand, Congressman Burchett, Senator Chuck Schumer, Senator Rounds. These are all congressmen who are pushing for a level of disclosure of what's going on. We can play some clips on here, and you can hear them giving speeches and interviews on TV. I think at some point maybe I'll just make a compilation of them all saying something is going on. Then you have all these disclosure advocates that are also sort of tangentially connected to the government. We got Ryan Graves, pilot, here at the bottom. We got David Grush. I'm going to put a pointer on the screen so you can see what I'm pointing at. Let me think here. Oh, I could do it this way. I'll just put Bitcoin up here. All right, so disclosure advocates: Rubio, Gillibrand, Tim Burchett, Schumer, Rounds. These are some of the advocates in Congress, and you can find tons of interviews and discussions, speeches. Schumer and Rounds just gave speeches on the floor of the Congress, and In our second to last episode of Meditation and Aliens, we played some clips from them talking, but they tried to pass major legislation to force the Pentagon and the CIA to reveal, and the private industry to reveal what they have with alien technology. This is not a joke. There is something real going on here. These are all former government or current government people that are really out on the forefront pushing for disclosure. And this is Christopher Mellon, former Deputy Secretary of Defense, Alex Heinrich, and David Fravor, both pilots who had one of the closest encounters with a UFO and most well documented in history, the famous Tic Tac incidents with the Nimitz. This is Lou Elizondo, who used to be in charge of one of the Pentagon's secret programs investigating UFOs. This is David Grush, whistleblower, who also used to be in charge of inside the Pentagon or researching the truth about UFOs. And this is Rear Admiral Gallaudet, the Navy, who has come forward saying the U.S. government in communication with non-human intelligence. Is Ryan Graves, former pilot, also been coming forward saying we've got to talk about this issue seriously. There's something serious going on. Then we got this is Nolan and Pasoka. They are respected academics who have been researching this and who are apparently being consulted with a lot of people on the inside trying to figure out what's going on. These are this is just all the presidents who they have to know. They have to all have known a lot about what's going on, and they haven't told you. But if you go watch Obama on Jimmy Kimmel, he clearly knew something. Here, these are some of the few media people who are talking about it openly. Tucker. Next are there. This is the CEO of the corporation that owns News Nation, the only cable news channel actually covering this. Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman. They've had several, maybe even all these people. Pasolka, Gary Nolan, Graves, Fravor. They did not. Maybe Christopher Mellon. He's been on Joe Rogan. I don't think Lou Elizondo or Gallaudet or Grush have been on those shows yet. Yeah. Then you got these heads of media. These are CEOs of major. I can't remember which ones, but it's Fox, CNN, Washington Post, New York Times. All the CEOs of those media are intentionally not covering this. Then you've got up here, you've got the head of the CIA, who it's really hard to tell which side the CIA is on now. Definitely in the past, they have been on the side of the secret keepers. I have a theory maybe they are now on the side of disclosure, or maybe the CIA is fractured. So I don't know whose side the head of the CIA is on. This is the Inspector General of the intelligence community, who is currently overseeing the case by Grush, who's filed a complaint against the Pentagon for retaliation that they've done to try to silence him. And so he is being investigating this case. So it seems like I have if he's on the side of the disclosure advocates, then there should be some ability for this issue to get exposed in a systematic way using a sort of a judicial process, the Inspector General investigation. And then you have the secret keepers. Clearly, these are people clearly on the side of trying to keep the secret and not tell anyone the truth at all costs. The head of that is Mike Turner here. This is a undoctored photograph. This is actually what he looks like. There is absolutely no editing to this Mike Turner photograph. He really does have strange red horns that look like they've been painted on in Microsoft Paint, but that's actually what he looks like all the time. I know it's bizarre, and they always come out of photographs. Anyways, Mike Turner, Congressman, Ohio, where Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is. Legendary Wright-Patterson, that is the location of Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, which is, according to everyone that's researched ufology and talked to whistleblowers, that is the location where they've been hiding UFO and alien technology since Roswell. And the Air Force and Wright-Patterson seem to be deep, deep in the hands of the secret keepers. At least they have been for years. I mean, it may be recently they've moved stuff, but... So he blocked the major legislation that all of these congressmen and senators tried to pass this year that would help get control of the UFO alien disclosure issue. Yep, he was able to block it. So one congressman and his buddy here, Mike Rogers of Alabama, were these two congressmen were powerful enough to stop that legislation from going through in its full force. This guy is, I believe, the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Pentagon, so he's really the most powerful non-elected person in the military. So he should know what's going on. I think this guy is the head of the Air Force. This is, what is he, Secretary of State, I believe. And it seems that, if all of you understand, if Biden is not really, it seems like the presidents have not really been in control of things ever. They're just sort of stooges that have been put in place over the years and been in control of the secret keepers in the Pentagon, in the media, whoever the secret keepers are controlled by. These guys have been controlling the president. It seems like this guy is actually the one in most direct control of Biden right now, and he's the one that's deciding who we bomb, who we go to war with, and what we try to achieve, where the money goes. So probably the most powerful person. Yes, and this is like the CEO of Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. These two guys, which are clearly involved in the secret keeping. So this is a picture of what's going on. Oh, and I guess I didn't mention this guy. I gotta mention this guy, Stephen Greer, who has tons of whistleblowers have come to him over the years. He's been fighting on the outside for sort of like an independent media disclosure guy. So that's a picture of what's going on here. And the picture that if you look at this, the picture that this paints is that there is a portion of Congress and these whistleblowers that are trying to get the truth out. These guys right here. These guys are all trying to get the truth out in some way. They're in favor of a limited amount of truth coming out. The story that these guys all paint is that aliens are real, UFOs are real, they've been real a very long time. The U.S. government has, part of the U.S. government has in its possession a bunch of crashed alien technology, crashed or acquired in some way. There's some hint that there may have been some agreement, some treaty made with some group of non-human intelligence, possibly back when Eisenhower was in office, and that's been in place. And the people that have been getting that technology are these guys, basically, the secret keepers and Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. They've been getting it, and they've been getting to do stuff with it and make money off of it, research it. Media, certain part of the media, these people have been helping to control the narrative and debunk and keep the truth from getting out there in any way. But these two groups are no longer in agreement. These groups are no longer in agreement about what should be told to the public. There's been a fracture of the secret keepers, and this breakaway group over here on the left is said it's time for a certain level of truth to get out and to stop the disinformation campaign and possibly the murders of anyone trying to share the secret. So there's a fracture there. And then you have independent media and independent researchers. You got these presidents sitting over here. It's like, the question is, who is really running the show here? So you got to step back. You got to take all these secret keepers and all these players and stick them down here and be like, okay, this is one group of people, but who is actually running the show on Earth? Right? Who's running the show on Earth? Who is it? China? Is it? This is my guess. Oops. Is it BlackRock? Who's actually telling these people what to do? Because these people, the secret keepers in our government, have access to this technology. Who do they obey? You got to kind of look down here to see, it's Lockheed Martin seems to be who owns Mike Turner, Mike Rogers. And therefore, and it's certainly who owns these CEOs. And so it's probably Lockheed who probably owns them. So if you see, if it's Lockheed, who owns Lockheed? Well, let's see. Lockheed Martin. Got a little Yahoo action. Who are the holders? Who owns Lockheed Martin? Lockheed Martin owns Mike Rogers, Mike Turner. And the owner of Lockheed Martin is State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock. State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah, BlackRock is the biggest. Is the biggest holder of wealth on Earth. Who owns BlackRock? Oh, Vanguard, State Street, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley. Isn't that weird? Oh, who owns Vanguard? Vanguard is private, so you can't see who owns Vanguard. Vanguard Group Inc. Vanguard Group Inc. Company information, personal investors. Let's try Vanguard Group Inc. Board. So this is the private company, the board of directors of the private company, which is the major holder of BlackRock. Isn't that kind of funny? Who owns BlackRock? Vanguard and BlackRock. State Street. Who owns Lockheed Martin? State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock. Who owns Lockheed Martin? BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Who are the secret keepers? Mike Turner, Mike Rogers, the Pentagon, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon. Who owns Lockheed Martin? BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Who are the secret keepers? Lockheed Martin, BlackRock. What does this have to do with Bitcoin? And all global wealth. The richest corporation on earth, biggest holder of everything, the company that owns everything, the corporation that owns everything, is BlackRock, who is launching a Bitcoin ETF, who has turned a corner and decided they are going to actually help own. They're going to help institutional investors be able to easily buy Bitcoin. BlackRock with JP Morgan is launching a Bitcoin ETF. Okay, so what does this all mean? What does this all mean? Well, here we got Bitcoin. This is a chart. What is Bitcoin? It is the first decent currency, the first currency invented that should be able to last 1,000,000 years. Should be able to be used in a way that gold has been used for the last 1,000 years. Yeah, for 1,000 years, gold has been used as an asset, a hard asset. In Bitcoin, there's only 21 million Bitcoin in existence. It is built to be an uncorruptible currency that cannot be inflated. And it's been going, if you can see here, Bitcoin has been going on an adoption curve. Let's see if I can pull up my my other adoption curve for Bitcoin. No, not that one. I'll just pull up on the screen here. These are examples of technology adoption curves. The S curve of technology adoption. Here's a good one. This is how technology gets adopted. Starts slowly, and then it starts to escalate. And so if you look here, we've got, oh, and if you look over here on the red, you've got, do we have internet? Oh, we do have Bitcoin listed there. It's over here in this far, far little red little hook down in the corner. That's where it says Bitcoin is here. It is about to launch up these adoption curves and become widely. It is not entered its real adoption phase. So this, what we've seen over here, let's see if we can get this looking the way I want it to look. So Bitcoin has been going, has it been a rocky ride? But it's been in the very, very early part of this S curve. It's been just like, there's barely 13% of people on Earth use Bitcoin, something like 13 to 17%. And that's what this percentage here, you see? This percentage here, it goes from 0%, goes up, 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 and Bitcoin is right here in the upper right corner. That's like, it's just barely cracking the 15% mark right now in 2024. But that is just where the action starts. And then technology, if it's going to succeed, then it just does this. It just starts to go, 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 go. And look over here how things in the modern times go. They're going to pick up, they just start to go straight up. So Bitcoin is having a rough ride, but it's about to enter the S curve up. And institutions like BlackRock and the big money institutions, this Bitcoin ETF, the purpose of this financial instrument, it's an exchange traded fund, is to make it easy for the main big institutional investors, corporations, to just get a piece of Bitcoin and benefit from its adoption and its price inflation that's going to go along with its adoption. Because there's only 21 million Bitcoin. There's more than 21 million, I think there's more than 21 million billionaires on Earth. Let's see. How many billionaires? There are 3,194 billionaires. Okay, so there's not 21 million. There's over 3,000 billionaires. How many millionaires are there in the world? There are 59. No, that's the world's millionaire population. 59. Yeah, 59 million millionaires. There are 59 million millionaires in the world. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. So every millionaire on Earth, there's not enough Bitcoin for each of them to own one Bitcoin. What percent of people own Bitcoin? 2.74% of people on Earth own Bitcoin. 67 million people own some. It's only 219 million people on Earth own Bitcoin. Yeah. So what's the point? The point is this adoption curve is just getting started. We are entering right here. Look at it. And BlackRock and the secret keepers, the ones who actually control Earth, Lockheed Martin, BlackRock, they know that you're not going to stop Bitcoin. It's the currency of the future. This thing is going to be the most important asset on Earth for the next 1,000 years, besides other commodities. Most important currency on Earth. So whoever the true bosses of these secret keepers are, whoever is really behind BlackRock and Vanguard and Lockheed Martin, they are now buying they're going to buy as much of it as they can, Bitcoin. And crypto, but Bitcoin I think is the. And then what? I mean, these secret keepers, if they exist, if they've been hiding aliens and using alien technology to make themselves rich, and they've secretly been ruling the Earth, basically in control of wars and everything that's been going on Earth, they're now just gonna, because they realize Bitcoin is the asset, the currency, the gold of the future, and it's an important thing. What are they going to do after they buy as much of it as they can? And listen about the BlackRock ETF. These ETFs, it's not about BlackRock. When they have this ETF, they're not going to have, it's not about them buying Bitcoin, and it's just Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Not it. They stand there and other people give them their money, and then BlackRock buys and holds Bitcoin on their behalf. So all the people are buying it. They get all this Bitcoin, but they don't actually have to use their money. People are going to give them billions of dollars, and they're going to buy Bitcoin on their behalf, and they're going to have it. What if BlackRock is not trustworthy? What if these secret keepers that have been hiding the secrets about aliens from all of us and controlling the Pentagon behind the scenes all this time, the ones really behind the money of BlackRock, and what if they're not trustworthy? I mean, just like, what if they are nefarious actors? What are they going to do once they have all huge amount of Bitcoin under their control? What is to stop? Here's the thing about crime. If they decide to take all of this Bitcoin and just send it, just take your Bitcoin that they're holding for you, the billions of Korean, and just send it to the whoever they want, whoever really is in control, because they just want it. And they're just saying like, oops, we got robbed. All your Bitcoin's gone. I mean, you could sue them, but you can only sue them for cash. Bitcoin will be gone. You're not going to be able to get back the Bitcoin. That's the magic. That's why Bitcoin is so, that's why it's becoming the new currency of Earth. It's because transactions are irreversible on Bitcoin. You have to learn about how a blockchain works, but that's the beauty of it. Once you send your Bitcoin to somebody else, there's no way to force it to come back. Unlike if you get a bank to wire transfer $1 billion to somebody. I mean, that's just, the banks are, they're just pieces of paper. There's little spreadsheets, and you can always get money back and trace it. But Bitcoin, the whole point of Bitcoin is it's a decentralized public ledger that is controlled by code. And if once they have your Bitcoin, if they send it to, who knows, some computer owned by could be someone in another country, another planet. If BlackRock decides to just steal all your Bitcoin one day, there's going to be nothing you can do about it. And if BlackRock is the one behind the secret keepers with Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Mike Turner, you might not want to trust these guys. Now, I'm not saying a Bitcoin ETF isn't potentially a good place to put stuff. Maybe holding Bitcoin yourself is stressful, so it's, find someone to be a custodian for it. Maybe one of the other ETF owners, but doubtful. It seems they're all, if you look, everyone's owned by BlackRock. So, anyways, those are some of my thoughts. And all right, take a 10-minute break, and then we are going to do a live podcast of meditation and aliens. So, yeah. All right, so I'm going to stop this. I think I'm going to stop this live stream, and maybe I'll start a new one. Let's see. Viewers. We got a total of 0 viewers, 0 likes, 0. So there we go. That's typical for one of my live streams. Thanks to the algorithm for sharing this far and wide, as you always do. Well done.